Are we live? Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fourth session of EduTalks organized by Eduthon. And today we have here with us Sahil Sen, sir. He's a developer evangelist at QuikNode, and today he's going to be talking about demystifying blockchain. Over to you, sir.
Hello guys, how are you all? And I hope you all are doing fine and keeping safe in these tough times. So today I'm going to talk about blockchain. A lot of you guys have or might have heard about blockchain because it is quite a trendy topic and quite a hot topic these days. But in our community and especially in student communities, blockchain is always viewed as this tough or this very complex kind of thing, but it's nothing like that. It's very simple and it's just another technology, you can say, but a revolutionary one. So before we had internet, which was a revolutionary technology, which changed everything, which changed how we connect and how we use our computers and how we use technology and everything. And blockchain is viewed in the same domain. Like it is going to change the internet, it is going to change the technology and the communication mediums and everything. So first of all, I'll start with a brief introduction about blockchain. What is blockchain and how you can use it and how you all can get into it. So my talk's name is Demystifying Blockchain. So I will be trying to demystify blockchain as a technology and how to get into blockchain in a very like comparatively easy manner. Okay. So I hope you all can see my screen, my slides too. So let's start with the basic and very basic explanation of blockchain. So what is blockchain? So blockchain is basically a network of connected databases and computers distributed all around the world. For example, if you are running a blockchain command or if you are running a script under the blockchain on your local computer also, even you are a part of that blockchain. For example, I'll try to explain the blockchain from the point of view of a third year or a 5-year-old child. For example, there was a kid named John, and he wanted a gift for his Christmas present. So he writes a letter to Santa Claus that I want the PS4 for my gift. But he was a small kid, right? So he can't post that letter by himself. So he gives that letter to his parents, and his parents, on the way to delivering or posting that letter, opens up and reads that letter. And no parent would want their kid to have a game like PS or something. They will always want something educative for their children. So they cut the PS thing and writes encyclopedias instead of PS and delivers it. So on the day of Christmas, encyclopedias gets delivered to John and not PS. So he was very disappointed and sad because he wrote and demanded PS from Santa, but he got encyclopedias instead. But he didn't give up. Next year on Christmas, he tried again and he wrote a letter again. But just this time, he distributed encyclopedias copy of letter through a chain of through a chain of members connected on a network, which is basically blockchain. In blockchain, every member has the copy of a transaction and they can approve or disapprove it. So this time, again, he was just 1 year older than the year before. So again, he gives his parents the letter. Again, his parents reads that he wants this console game PS4 again, and this time they change it again with some kind of educational material, uh, say dictionary this time. So it goes to the network, and everybody sees that this isn't what like this isn't the same thing which was posted before by the owner of the letter, right? It's something different. So they disapprove their parents' copy and upload again John's copy, which was PS4's demand. So the letter gets delivered with the original information, not the previous one or not the changed one. So This time, John gets his PS4. This is how basically blockchain works. So everyone on the network can approve your transaction and they can see. So there cannot be any duplication or there cannot be any malpractices, things like that. So basically, in blockchain, every computer on the network has a copy of previous transactions. For example, there was a transaction before a transaction number 4. So the blockchain will be having the information about the transaction number 1, transaction number 2, and transaction number 3. Every previous transaction, every single previous transaction from the Genesis block. Genesis blocks are the first most blocks of blockchains. Each block also contains timestamps, like at the time, what was the time of the transaction. Every block has their particular information stored in them. So whenever you want to access that information, you can simply query to the blockchain and get that information. And every block has the link to the previous block also, just like I said that every block has the previous transactions. So blockchain is literally a chain kind of thing, right? So now you will understand what is Ethereum and why is Ethereum different than other blockchains like Bitcoin, which is the most famous one and which is allegedly and most trendiest and allegedly the first blockchain, and which paved the way for other blockchain technologies. So Bitcoin, which was started by Satoshi Nakamoto, became very famous, and Bitcoin was intended to change the whole payment system. Like the payment system was very centralized and government had control over it, and it can have malpractices, it can be victim to fraudulence and everything. So blockchain was invented to make these payments very secure and very smooth and anonymous also. So because of Bitcoin, payments became very safe, and people's information also became very safe. There wasn't any chances of getting that leaked. But Bitcoin only focused on at that time. Bitcoin only focused on payments, nothing else. But blockchain had more potential. So Vitalik Buterin, a developer from Canada, he started researching on Bitcoin, and then later he also started a magazine about Bitcoin. And after that, he started working on his own blockchain, which is now known as Ethereum. So Ethereum basically was invented or made to use the potential of blockchain beyond just for financial or payment practices. Like Ethereum is a thing called smart contracts. By like it's kind of rules or scripts, you can say. By using by using them, we can make apps and we can make uh, different kind of softwares which runs on and which stays on Ethereum blockchain. So I'll try to explain Ethereum to you all. So Ethereum is blockchain-based software platform used to make and deploy decentralized softwares, which are also known as dApps. So as I told you before, that blockchain is a decentralized technology. It isn't controlled by a single entity. It isn't situated in a single center or something. It is decentralized and it is spread all around the world. So Ethereum is one of that. Ethereum is also blockchain and it is decentralized. So Ethereum has a few more things on top of Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't have smart contracts at the time of its inception, but now Bitcoin is also used for developing apps and deploying apps. So I'll start with the smart contracts. So smart contracts are basically scripts or rules which governs your Ethereum net blockchain. So you write a rule and you deploy on the Ethereum blockchain, and you can inquire and you can query that rule anytime, and you can get that into your app anytime. So I'll try to explain smart contracts with an example too. Uh, so, for example, you might have heard about fundraising platforms like Kickstarters or Indiegogo. So let's take an example of Kickstarters. For example, uh, a person or an inventor or a maker has made something, a product, for which he wants to fundraise from public. So he registers his product on Kickstarter, and he he fixes an amount. Let's say that amount is $2,000. Let's say the inventor wants to raise $2,000 for his product so that he can start its production and sell it to customers. So the normal people who visits Kickstarter's website, they'll see the listing of that product, and if if they're interested in that technology, or if they're interested in the maker's thinking or something, so they invest in that. They'll donate to that product, and whenever that product reaches the 2000 mark, which was set by the inventor, it will, that 2000 goes to the inventor, but not the whole amount. Some amount will be charged by Kickstarters as a platform charge, and the product will be delivered to the customers who donated to the inventor. But in this form of transaction and in this form of scenario, there is a middleman, which we took an example of Kickstarter over here. So the Kickstarter has is a middleman which has information of both the entities, the customer and the inventor, which can be and may not be used in a not so ethical way, or maybe in also a ethical way, but without consent or anything. And plus, it also charges a sum amount for, in the form of fees or in form of transaction fees and everything, so the inventor doesn't get the whole amount. But in this place, if we use smart contract, we can make a smart contract instead of this. So the smart contract can be programmed to write. So the smart contract can be programmed in such a way that whenever this much particular amount is reached, customers get their product and the inventor gets the amount. And if the amount is not reached in the particular time frame, the customers get their refund and the inventor has to post the request again. So smart contract can eradicate the need of the middleman, which can make things very much easier for both the parties and very much profitable also for both the parties. So smart contracts are very much like very much important, I would say, and very much powerful. I would say, which makes they basically they are the reason they are the reason the decentralized applications are possible on Ethereum network. And smart contracts are written in programming languages. Very famous one is Solidity, which resembles the syntax of JavaScript. If you know JavaScript, you can write Solidity very easily. And the second most important thing in Ethereum is EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine. So whenever you write a smart contract and deploy it on the Ethereum network, Ethereum virtual machines are the ones who compile it, and it gets deployed on on the Ethereum network. Once they are compiled and deployed on the Ethereum network, you can query the smart contract and query the functions you have written in that smart contract, and develop your app based on that. To deploy your smart contracts, obviously you need some ETH, which is the currency of Ethereum network, which is it is charged as a gas fee, so it is charged as the usage fees. It's called gas fees in the Ethereum terminology. And dApps, I've already talked about dApps. They are the decentralized applications. And one more thing which is to be taken into consideration in Ethereum is DAO. They are decentralized autonomous organization. So are DAOs are organizations which governs or which makes rules for Ethereum blockchain, like how things should be done in the network, how things should go in Ethereum network, something like that. But this thing is gonna be eradicated in the future, as the DAOs will be just programming languages or programs. So the Ethereum will be completely like completely decentralized and ungoverned by any particular person. It is now too, but it will be completely like ungoverned by a particular person in future when it will be when it will be controlled by computers. And now a question arises that how QuikNode helps the developers to connect to Ethereum network and why they should use QuikNode. At QuikNode, we are trying to build a, like we are trying to empower the normal developers to connect to Web3, to connect to Ethereum and Bitcoin networks. We have recently also launched XDAI network. XDAI is a blockchain which is deployed on Ethereum networks itself. XDAI tries to keep its price similar to USD, so it's always stable. So at QuikNode, we try to empower students. At QuikNode, we try to empower normal developers who wants to connect to Web3 very fast and doesn't want to maintain their own nodes. And we have a global network of nodes, so no matter what place you are in the world, you can simply buy a QuikNode and get connected to Web3 very fast. Web3 is the decentralized internet. We also have educational resources on our website. You can simply go to quicknode.com io/guides, and we also have a blog running on. So now I'll try to give you a small example how you all can get connected to Ethereum network and start building your decentralized applications. So let's take a very small and very easy example. So I assume that Node.js is like very common and known to most of the developers, but I won't take that part and I'll explain what Node.js is in a very brief manner. Okay, so Node.js is a package manager. It helps you to make backend applications and it helps you to manage your libraries which you want to import in your code. So we will use Node.js today and uh, write a small JavaScript. I'm sorry, and write a small JavaScript script to get connected to Ethereum network. Okay, so first we have to install Node.js from its website and make sure you always install the LTS version, which is a stable version. And after installing, you can make sure it's installed by just simply typing node-v. It will return the nodes version, Node.js's version, so you can know that yeah, the Node.js is installed in my system. And after doing that, you can simply do npm install dash dash save ethers. So here ethers is a JavaScript library for Ethereum blockchain. Uh, in more basic way, we can say ethers.js is a Web3 library which helps you connect and query to Ethereum blockchain. So we are using ethers.js here. So to install that, you simply have to do npm install dash dash save ethers. And after it's installed, you can open your you can open your text editor, any text editor of your choice, and simply write this script. I'll share these slides for you all to future reference, so you can simply try this on your own. But I assume we don't have that much time right now, so I'll simply explain the steps over here, so you all can do this on your own. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me on my Twitter, same Sahil over here, or you can always reach out to QuikNode's Discord server or Eduton's Discord server and ask anything about QuikNode or ask me anything about Ethereum or anything about the script which is displayed in these slides. So I'll try to explain this script to you. So in the first line, we are importing the ethers library which we just installed, and in the second line, we are declaring a variable for our QuikNode URL. So before that, I'll try to explain how QuikNode works. So if whenever you try to get a node, you simply have to log into quicknode.io and make your account and boot a node. There will be an option create a node in the top right, you have to boot the node and select a plan of your choice, and you will see a UI something similar to like this. You can copy your node's URL from here, and that URL you have to paste in this second line, in the place of add your Ethereum URL, and that's it. That's all you need to get connected to Ethereum network. And these are the lines which you require to do the query. And we are also declaring another variable to specify what kind of provider we are using. We have two providers, HTTP and WebSockets. For this purpose, we are using HTTP provider. So we will simply write new ethers.providers.json RPC provider. JSON RPCs are calls which we make to the Ethereum network to get the information. And here we are using a simple call called get block number. By doing this call, it will return the latest and the topmost block of the Ethereum blockchain. So we will write custom HTTP provider, get block number, and we will throw the result into console, and that's it. At this place of result, it will show you the latest and the topmost blockchain's block, Ethereum blockchain's block. And this is a very simple call, and there are a lot of JSON RPC calls. For example, get pending transactions, get transaction received. So you can get information about the previous transactions. You can get information about a specific account or and something like that. Yeah, and I have already explained you this step. And after that, you simply run your script. Being okay. One more thing. Uh, you can name your script anything. I used index.js, so you can simply open that file by going again to the command prompt, going into that directory and typing node and that file's name. You can skip the .js part. You can simply write your file's name, anything, any name of your choice. And after running that script, you will be having an output something like this. At the time when I made this slide and I executed that script, the latest block number in the Ethereum network was this, and you will be seeing a different number because at the time when you will be running this script, the Ethereum network would have been advanced a bit more, and this number would be increased with a significant number because the blockchain blocks are increasing every second, like every microsecond. So this number increases quite fast. Okay, guys. So I think this was enough from my side, and I'll share the screens. I'll share the slides with you all, so you can always reach out to us to QuikNode from our Discord server. And I also provided a link to our Web3 guides and blogs. In Web3 guides, you will get educational material to better understand Ethereum and Bitcoin, and you can also learn to write your own smart contract in that. And if you want to run your own nodes, you can also learn from our guides. We have covered a whole lot of topics, and we keep on adding new guides every now and then, the students can understand blockchain technology better. Students can understand Ethereum and Bitcoin technologies better, and they can start building their own things. So I think that's it from my side. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, Eduthon, for having me. It was great to talk to you. Thank you, guys. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Uh, Good afternoon, sir. It's a
Hello.
pleasure talking to you right now, sir. Just
Hello.
some small, yes, sir. This is some small questions that I had. I have been fascinated with blockchain technology for some quite time now. Sir, some basic questions would be, people who are new to this technology have like a crypto fear in them. So can you please talk about that? Like I talk to various people around me, and like people are like feared about, okay, this cryptocurrency thing. I talked to my dad, and he's like, people have lost a lot of money over Bitcoin. So it's like it is always like a fight with me and my dad when we debate over this, because I tell him that no, blockchain is good. The Indian government and our prime minister supports it, but he says that like it is not, it is something where you lose money. So can you please elaborate on that?
Yeah, I completely get your point. But the thing is, over here, we are trying to promote development on blockchain, not the cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency and development on blockchain are very far away. Like cryptocurrencies, its prices depends on the stocks or on the users or on the quantity of users which are using blockchain. For example, if this much amount of people are using Bitcoin, and for example, if a big name in the industry pops up and it reveals that it has this much amount of cryptocurrency, then the price of that currency goes high. It works like that, right? But
Hmm.
in this scenario, we are trying to promote development on this network because it's very secure as compared to your day-to-day infrastructure. For example, you make a you may, you will have to manage and monitor your servers and your infrastructure, and you will have to always go up and forth with your data centers. But in blockchain, you simply don't have to worry about that all those things that much, and it is very secure. uh, it is improving day by day, in fact. And yeah, so my answer to your question is that cryptocurrencies can be very volatile,
Yes,
but yeah, we are trying to encourage developers, and we are trying to encourage students to develop on blockchain rather
sir.
than buying cryptocurrencies.
Yes, yes, sir. So another question would be, I just started making dApps over Ethereum, and
Okay.
like for a beginner, like I think you would be knowing, for a beginner, it's very hard to sense what we want to start with. Like I had a great interest in cybersecurity, and then I started learning on blockchain. So, sir, for new budding developers, can you please list out some of the technologies that they need to know before developing dApps? Like I had to learn JavaScript, vanilla
Yeah.
JavaScript, or like a React JS based uh, some kind of a thing, or basically JavaScript, so that I can start making dApps like Web3 use Web3 JS, and then over my basic app, the web app, over with vanilla JavaScript and Webpack, so that I can integrate both of them. So can you please list out some basic things that people need to learn before starting to make dApps?
Sure, sure. So the first and foremost thing is, as you mentioned, Ritvik, even you had to learn JavaScript. Yeah. So even I would suggest that you like students should learn basics of JavaScript and like vanilla JavaScript before starting with blockchain. You can start with blockchain with different languages too. There are libraries for all the languages. For example, there is Web3 Py for
Hmm,
Python. There is Web3 Ruby for there is
hmm,
Web3 RB for Ruby, and even there are libraries for Java and C, C++ also.
hmm,
But the easiest way to start with blockchain is, I would suggest JavaScript, because if you want to write a smart contract also, it has its own programming language known as Solidity. So the Solidity has a very similar syntax with JavaScript. So I would suggest you should learn JavaScript, and then after JavaScript you should go for Solidity.
hmm.
Yeah, these are the two main resources you should learn.
Yes, sir. Sir, would you elaborate on various other blockchain platforms other than Ethereum? Like I had also been interested in Tezos for a brief amount. And like right now there are so many blockchain platforms that for a beginner it's like, oh, we have Ethereum,
Yeah, it
we have
can be very
Tezos, yeah,
overwhelming. Yeah,
we've
it can be
Neo,
very
we've,
overwhelming for
and
us.
on top of that, people also have to like trust some of them with money if they want to make smart contracts for a production base. So when the investment of money comes into play, you have to be really cautious with what platform you are trying to work with, right? So, sir, other than Ethereum, what would you recommend for like a production base?
Okay. Other than Ethereum, I would recommend Bitcoin and XDAI
Okay.
because because these are the more like Ethereum and Bitcoin and XDAI are the most stable blockchains, and like I know about a lot of platforms, but these are the most stable platforms, and these are the platforms you can trust on. And most of the developers are developing on Ethereum and Bitcoin block platforms. And rather than Bitcoin, also Ethereum is gaining a lot of momentum in the
Hmm.
financial sectors. There's a term called DeFi. You
Yeah,
might
yeah.
know about it.
Decentralized finance, yes, sir.
Yeah. So decentralized financial services are booming right now.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I would suggest Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XDAI. You can also go to QuikNode.io to learn more about it, or you can simply text, like if any other student want to ask any other questions about platforms or anything, they can simply text me on our QuikNode's Discord server. I'm all time over there.
Yes, sir. Sir, another a big question would be, I think we all know about Facebook Libra, and
Yeah.
when we see big companies, big centralized companies like Facebook working on cryptocurrency, won't you think that these guys would on a social platform, when you have the liberty of money, you can silence someone with taking all their money away from them. So, would you like to comment over this? Like, how do you feel about Facebook Libra, like a centralized entity trying to work on something decentralized?
Uh, I think that even if it's decentralized, they might have some access to personal data or something like that. We can't trust them, we can't trust them completely over this, right? And given the reputation, I don't
Hmm.
know. Yeah, I would always recommend to use public blockchains like Ethereum and Bitcoin.
Yes, thank you. And some great controversy right now happening over China, where mainland China recently introduced their cryptocurrency. Firstly,
Yeah.
they banned each and every cryptocurrency in their country, and then they introduced their own. Like while studying about it, I had read certain blogs saying that. We know the condition in China where a central party is trying to mute someone if they talk against them. So just like Facebook Libra, don't you think like this is like supreme central authority making sure that their civilians are seen and under surveillance? So what would you comment when these guys have the power of money? Won't they use that power, won't they misuse that power if someone tries to go against them? Sir, your thoughts
Uh,
over it?
yeah, they can. And the thing is, yeah, it can completely be used in a way that users of wouldn't want to be used. But on this specific topic, I would say that those countries which are blocking cryptocurrencies,
Hmm.
they are blocking the particular cryptocurrencies. For example, for Ethereum, Ethereum has cryptocurrency ETH, Bitcoin has cryptocurrency BTC. So they are blocking that cryptocurrencies, but they can't block development over the blockchain. For
Yes.
example, even at QuikNode, we have a lot of developers and developer houses as our clients. They are developing on Ethereum network, but but they are developing on Ethereum network. They have different platforms and they have different applications. So I would say that. Cryptocurrency again, this comes to the same topic, that difference between cryptocurrencies and the blockchain network.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah.
And also, sir, things right now with the Indian market, where the government recently pulled the ban over the cryptocurrency here in India, and I guess now they're trying to make a law for it. I have seen the government very much impressed with the blockchain technology, like how blockchain can influence us in India. But yeah, again, the cryptos, like cryptocurrency space, is like very volatile and very like people are really feared over it. That is the only reason I would say that various governments are banning cryptocurrencies. Why I am asking about cryptocurrency so much is that any new developer or any new organization, when they wanted, or any startup when they wanted to work on a blockchain based app, they could have done ICO. But countries like these, if they are banning cryptocurrencies, we won't be able to make like an ICO in that country, right? So even though we are working on a blockchain app, we need funds to work on that, right? So
Yeah.
that is my major question. Like, if they're banning these currencies, and with the market right now for startups, like, I don't think so many startups would be getting a good amount of funding, or even funding for that matter. So ICO would have been a great alternative to that. But with these regulations, sir, how do you feel about the startups that wanted to work with an ICO?
Yeah, so I think that to do an ICO and to maintain your own coin, you need a whole lot of resources and whole lot of infrastructure. Yeah,
Hmm.
right. For example, even if you want to run a single Ethereum node, you need a quite a decent amount of infrastructure and decent amount of RAM space and computational power.
Hmm.
So that's what we are trying to solve for developers and startups. So we have different plans for them, so they can choose from a plan according to their will. So they don't have to go for their own infrastructure management, or they don't have to worry about worry about monitoring their systems. So yeah, so I think they should simply use the public blockchains and
Hmm.
not go for developing their own infrastructure and developing their own coin.
Yes, sir. That
And
is true.
as you mentioned that India, even Indian government is promoting cryptocurrencies. So I think it is a good initiative. So by promoting cryptocurrencies, people will know about blockchain technology, and they will get interested about how, like, obviously if they were working with cryptocurrencies, if they buy or sell cryptocurrencies, they will be at some point of time they'll get some interest to know about how things work behind the scenes, and they will want to develop on blockchain too.
Yes, sir. Sir, some as a second year right now, and working on this, sir, I have this kind of a dilemma that even though I'm making a certain kind of project over blockchain, sir, is there any recruitment or something, or jobs? Like, what are the condition for jobs in the blockchain sector in India? Because outside India, I've seen, yes, there are particularly good job opportunities. Like the Korean government, they're really working on blockchain, and they're incentivizing people to work there. But I haven't seen that much interest in India. Sir, your thoughts on that?
Okay, so I won't say anything particularly about India, but I have seen quite a lot of blockchain developers positions, Ethereum developers positions specifically popping up in the Bangalore area,
Hmm.
and also there are all there are always remote jobs, right?
Yes.
You can stay here and work for the companies outside. The same thing which I am doing. Even I am working with QuikNode remotely. Our whole team is working remotely, and the biggest name I would say, the recent one was Visa.
Yes,
The
sir.
Yeah, even they had an opening for smart contracts developer recently. So from this you can know, like, you can expect a whole lot of new companies going into this domain and create new jobs also. Like, you can get the scenario, and you can get prediction, like you can predict, right, that yeah, even more companies will be popping up with this kind of positions. And I think in the future most of the companies will be, like, everyone will be trying to go decentralized, and
Yes, sir.
blockchain is a very good option for them to go decentralized. So
Hmm.
almost every company will be having their blockchain wings, and even now also there isn't any shortage of jobs for blockchain developers, because there aren't that much of blockchain developers as compared to the other technologies. So I think if someone learns blockchain and tries to develop on blockchain network, there isn't any shortage of job. You will get jobs.
Yes, sir. Uh, sir. Hmm. Yes, yes. Hmm.
Yeah, you can always reach out to me. Okay, thank you so much, Sarthak and Team Edithon, for having me. It was great talking to you guys.
Thank you